If you don't ask, you will not get. Probably exactly what your parents taught you when you were growing up. And recently we've seen a lot of our clients and businesses that we're speaking with going out to the market and asking and actually being very surprised that they're getting yeses.
Not wrong, mate. And I must admit, my mind typically goes to, we've got to make some kind of offer. And, well, that's the case when you're going to the market and asking, you make an offer. And because of what we see ourselves with, we're getting an email and it's spam, or it's an ad, be it on socials or on TV, that's all you've got to do. And yes, granted, I think there's a lot more that small businesses in New Zealand can be doing in that space, particularly with email marketing, because so many people put their personal lens over how that should be done and frequency and all that kind of stuff. But I think sometimes the simple are often overlooked in the classic phone call.
Yeah.
You just cannot skip the value of contacting somebody and just having not a face-to-face, but a over-the-phone yarn. A lot more personable. And I think if there's a pre-existing relationship that you've got with somebody that they've dealt with you before and they haven't engaged for a while, pick up the phone. Hey, how's it going? What are you up to? Hey, look, we're doing this. Would you be interested? And then you reminded me a little bit earlier that old Phil here hustled a little while ago and did exactly that. I thought, right, well, the new financial year's coming up. Let's just use that as an angle. We've got clients that have engaged with us on a number of different projects over the last 6 or 12 months, and the feedback seems to be somewhat positive. And it's like, well, okay, would you be interested in coming on as an accounting client? Let's have that phone call. And had a few phone calls, and what do you know? We hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
We got someone across the line. Happy days. It works.
Don't ask, don't get.
Don't get.
If you didn't ask, if you didn't make the phone calls, you're not going to get.
Yeah.
The beauty there is I believe you got more no's than you got yeses, correct?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that didn't stop you because you already had a list of, I'm going to ask all these people. And the people who said no were basically like, oh, no, we don't actually need that from you. Sweet.
Yep.
It's not rejection. It's not, oh, shit, I better go sit under my bed for another 4 days.
Oh, mate, I have to say, for me, as you would know, that is outside my comfort zone and something that I would typically do.
Yeah.
So to be able to go, right, I'll make the calls and make a commitment to doing it, but then the mind was just like, how do I frame it? What do I say? How can I make sure that I'm confident? All of this kind of stuff was just like all this stuff going through the mind. And in the end, it's just like, man, overthinking. Just pick up the phone and frickin' dial.
Yeah.
And it's like, reminded me a little bit of the old Wolf of Wall Street where they're sitting down and it's like, there's some pretty choice words being said. I can't repeat it verbatim, but where it's just like, you pick up the phone and dial, And I thought, well, we'll just have a crack. And admittedly, it was just like, hey, we'll go away and think about it, follow up with them a little while later. No. Phone call. Hey, look, thanks for the call, but appreciate you anyway. And then, yep, boom, we hit the jackpot. Hey, been thinking about you guys. Yeah, absolutely. Let's explore that.
If we just give people some context, I think if we go back to how frothy the economy was, which we're all very familiar with, a lot of us didn't have to. We could run Facebook ads. We could just get by on word of mouth, and things were easy, and we didn't really need to go to the market. Then we started saying to people, if you've been a longer-term listener of the podcast, like, hey, you're going to need to go to the market. The market will not come to you. We were in a stage where the market came to us, and we basically chose as business owners, like, okay, do I want to do that? Of course, most people then do it and then push for more. But then they got into this frustrating cycle of, things are slowing down. But that became the narrative of like, it's slowing down. And of course, then we've got recession, which we'll get to. But in that period, it was like, okay, well, you're going to have to push harder. But we haven't had to do that before, so why would I do that? And so then people either chose, did they want to or didn't they want to? And then we got into recession territory where it was like, holy shit, it is really hard. Now you're going to double down. You're going to have to go even harder on what was working. Oh, well, I'm already getting beat up enough. Why the hell am I going to double down? And then I think we're kind of slowly getting back into the economy where I still don't think the market's going to come to you. There's some people coming out of the woodwork going, okay, I need to get on with this now. And maybe some of the market is coming back to you, not just like the whole market coming to you, but maybe some of the people you recently engaged with, your old leads, as we've spoken about. But we still cannot underestimate the power of going to somebody who's a decision maker and saying, hey, are you ready? Hey, do you need our help? Hey, will you donate? Hey, will you pledge money to this? Hey, will you loan us money? Whatever it is, but it's on the other side of that ask.
Yeah, as a business owner, I wouldn't be suggesting to anyone out there, hey, wait for the market to come to you, unless you have been absolutely relentlessly consistent over the last however many years through the ups and the downs, because you've built up so much awareness, delivered so much value that people go, oh yeah, that's right, those guys, will go to them. And we've got clients that are in that space at the moment. They've gone out, they've made offers, they're doing stuff, and they're now seeing the tables are turning. And for the work that they've been doing, even in the downtime, putting themselves out there, they're now being approached saying, oh, hey, look, we'd be interested in you guys looking at this for us. And it's just like, boom, there it is. That's the payback for the work that you were doing 12 months ago.
Yeah.
If you weren't doing it 12 months ago, the market ain't going to come to you.
Yeah.
So you are going to have to rely a little bit more on those older school tactics of picking up the phone, getting outside that comfort zone and doing things that you probably haven't done and go, hey, look, we're here, and brush up on those skills. And there's plenty of stuff on YouTube and online where you can skill yourself up and go, right, what are some of the top tactics? Ask ChatGPT. I had a client the other day say to me, it was on buying a business matter, and they said, oh, hey, look, I chucked some stuff into ChatGPT and just asked it, gave it some answers, and they were like, oh, wow, this is cool. Nice. I was like, oh, gee, Chaz is doing me out of a job here.
Yeah, Chaz, you're supposed to be working for us. Yeah. I think we're in the economic cycle bit now where it's still hard. Like we had the sugar rush of Adrian Orr saying, oh, interest rates are going to come down. So then business confidence skyrocketed to a decade high. It's now come back down. Consumer confidence is really low as well. And so we're still stuck in this rut of like, oh, we thought it was going to get better quickly. But I do think there's a little bit of loosening of the wallet and a bit of interest rates are coming down and going to come down. It hasn't been as hard as it was. I wouldn't call it revenge spend like we called when we got out of lockdowns. But
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that. We're going to have to do this eventually. Fuck it, let's get on with it. I think there's a bit of that happening. And if we're not the ones going to people saying, hey, we're your people, remember, then they might find somebody else. So I've got a few examples from clients and businesses that I've seen. But one that got me across the line recently, mate, is that I don't mind going to the chiropractor every now and then and having somebody tell me what's going on with my spine. And I haven't been for ages because I would go on a Thursday and then I wasn't on that side of the bridge on the northern beaches, so I stopped going. Now, I got a text.
Text message.
Hi, Luke. It's insert name from insert business. It's Client Appreciation Week. I thought, brilliant. I feel so appreciated. To celebrate this and to raise awareness about the importance of chiropractic care, we're offering your next visit at $40. Save up to 35%. Just reply yes and we'll organise the rest. Opt-out reply, stop. You have to have the opt-out reply stop on all text messages that go out. I replied yes. I don't need to ring them. I don't need nothing. I'm like, well, let's see what happens. I thought, because I do need to go at some stage. Yeah. We could see you today at 4:45. Like, that is some hustle. Or Thursday at 11 a.m, let me know what suits. I said, anything in the Arvo. Now I'm like, epic. I've got like a text convo here to book me some work. This is great. They must be using a platform, and I've seen these text platforms in the background, and you kind of stick to the individual conversation. But it's coming from, like a 3498 type number. And I said, what about this? And great, you're all booked in. The next thing I had a calendar invite, and I went there and gave them $40. And I said to them, hey, how's that text campaign going for you? Oh, really good, actually. Yeah, we've had quite a few people who haven't been for a while book in and come and see us. I'm like, fuck yes, love it.
That is absolutely sensational. Then I was just thinking, on the back of that, what are they going to do next?
Oh, mate, don't you worry. I'm already booked back in for 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, and we know that you're Captain Outlier. Would the next normal person be able to go, what's the offer that I need to get across the line? So are they going to send out another text campaign? Are they going to send out another email? How are they going to stay cozy to those customers that are re-engaged with them to go da-da-da-da-da? Or is it like you say, hey, look, you've come, let's rebook you in 6 weeks' time or whatever the standard thing is for a chiropractor, like you go to the hairdresser.
Well, maybe the follow-up could have been from them, hey, we noticed you didn't book in, you clearly don't appreciate us, please go and find another chiropractor.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure
did they try and put you on a subscription?
No, they don't, but I think I've told the story about how I went to the dentist earlier in the year and they were like, hey, it's a lot cheaper for you if you're on the subscription. But
how convenient.
Yeah, how are you not on there? And I'm getting pinged every month. Congratulations. Your monthly fee has gone out.
Gone out.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's an example of something that worked. And I guess a completely different one, and I won't give away because I haven't asked them if they're comfortable with me sharing all of the details, but I was working with a business a little while ago and they need to do some fundraising. Now, they need to do the fundraising because they are doing amazing work in the community and they need to scale that, but they need money. And people really care about what they're doing and it's amazing charity. And I said, why are we even having this convo? Like, we've had it before. You need to go and ask for the money. And they're like, oh yeah, but like, how are we going to do that? I said, well, you need to tell the story of what it is that you would do with the money and you need to go to people and say, would you be willing to donate? Now, I saw that they went out to the market and they did exactly that and they even included me on the ask.
Good of them.
And I thought, fuck, that's smart because now I feel obliged because I gave them the advice.
To contribute.
Yeah.
Smart.
But I said, like, if you shaped it, that if you give X, Y, Z, that will mean that these people can do what they wouldn't be able to do. I'm like, I think people a lot of emotional attachment to that would be like, or response would be like, oh, well, if I donate this money, that's what they're getting out of it. Okay, I'm going to do it. And I saw that they raised, I think, 33% more than what their target was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
But again, like if they don't go out and ask people, then they don't get. So amazing to see.
The other angle on that of asking for money, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but is with customers and asking for deposits and changing your payment terms. And recently we've been exploring with a client of just going, hey, look, you structure your business like this in terms of your initial engagement with a customer. They've got to go away and do some bits and pieces and then they may or may not pay. I'm like, well, play on the emotional drive in the here and now that they're hot to trot and break the barrier and get the payment while they're with you. Because the technology exists. We've got Go Cardless, we've got Stripe, we've got internet banking, we've got the thing on your phone where you can tap it and just take someone's money. It's just like break those barriers and get the money. Sure enough, they're implementing it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, let's transact faster. And it's like, don't ask, you don't get. And they're probably going to increase their conversion rate or increase their sales, get more cash. Happy days.
Here's another one, and this is something that we've seen clients do and encourage some of our clients to do too, who have grown, and it's very evident that some of their older customers wouldn't realise the work that they now actually do. So we got a client to basically list out all the things that they do, either turn it into a pamphlet form of a nice, pretty design, or even an email and say, hey, why don't you go back to your customers and clients and say, hey, just letting you know, we've grown and since we've been in a relationship together, etc. These are all the services that we're currently offering other businesses. If you need them too, then feel free to reach out. We don't know if we've done a great job to actually keep you up to date with what we do. And they had a really good response to that. Now, I actually saw that I had a very similar email from a business today that we use. Hello, Luke. I just wanted to reach out to let you know we have some promotions going on our other services and wondered if you'd be interested at looking at other ways we may be able to assist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bullet points of things that they do.
That aren't currently being used.
Yeah.
Wow.
All customers using the blah, blah, blah will receive a discount when using our other services if they are not already on special rates. Please let me know if you would like to know more. Director.
Awesome.
So the director has reached out, and look, I don't know if this is personal, but even if it's not, I'll probably take the time to reply to that. But again, like, don't ask, don't get.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think all of us need to try and figure out in our own minds, like, why is it that we really struggle to ask, and like, why don't we do these things that other companies are willing to do?
Mate, and I think again you're an outlier because you're familiar with that great term, rejection.
Yeah.
You've gone through the school of hard knocks down there in Hawa and Dannyverk, probably in the playgrounds of Palmy Boys, and then whatever mischief you got up to at Hawa in the Foursquare. Or was that Dannyverk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you were accountant back in. Yeah, right.
So,
yeah. Oh, that
nothing.
didn't eventuate till late 20s anyway. Didn't
Exactly.
It?
So
Yeah.
it's more Hara years. I got a few.
But the rejection, I think that comes back for business owners, and relating it back to the top of the pod where we were talking about the phone calls that I had to make. That was the overwhelming thing that was in my mind of just like, I'm going to get no's. How do I cope with the no?
Yeah.
And just like, suck it up, buttercup. You're going to hear it. Just, it is what it is. It's not a reflection of me or our ability as a business to do something. It's just the business either isn't ready or doesn't feel we're the right fit. Great.
Yeah. I'm going to give people hopefully a nugget that hopefully will help them break the back of that. So it's not about the rejection, but here's how I reckon we get ourselves into a point where we really struggle with asking. Most of us go and ask for shit when we are desperate, or we don't hold the power, or we know deep down that we're not really adding any value. But we don't want to admit that, so then we shape it as like, I'd love to shout you a coffee. Let's be honest. Like, if I'm reaching out to Rod Drury or some high profile person being like, hey, love what you do, love to shout you a coffee and tell you about like how you can make my life better. Do you fucking think Rod Drury really wants to like meet up with me? He knows, and you know deep down too. You're like, that ain't gonna cut it. And we get this all the time, like, hey, love to come catch up with you guys about like your clients. And it's like, yeah, because you want to tell our clients about what you do. And so now I've got a better drafted email where I go back and say, hey, we didn't build this database for you to come and market to for free. It's not what we do.
Yeah, but you're right.
Yeah.
But that reminds me of the phrase that you shared in the office a little while ago about the wagon concept. Like, we got a train going down the tracks.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few wagons attached to that right now. And it's got a bit of pace to it.
Yep. And
love and life, because it's a first-class bloody train. And then you're noticing, probably more so than me, but the amount of people that are contacting you about exactly that they've got a wagon, they want to hitch it to our train and go down the fast lane.
Yeah.
It's like, we've built this and we're still laying the tracks in front of us to keep us going.
And so most of these people, they're not talking about, like, there could be reciprocal deals, we might be able to refer you. It's like, we don't, like, okay, that sounds great, but we don't really need that because we're doing so much to build it for ourselves anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're not adding any value to the person you're reaching out to. So you've got to, like, it gets easier to ask for something when you know you can truly add value to them. So there's sometimes where I go out and ask for something and I think, well, if we do this together, they'll get more out of this than me. And every time I do that, I think I don't feel bad about asking this because literally they're going to get more benefit than we are. But I'm going to initiate it. And if I can't back it up, well, I'll say, oh, sorry, that didn't lead to anything, like don't need anything in return, etc. So I think most of us get taught to go and ask when we're desperate and we don't have any value to give. But remember that when we have a business and we have people who are paying us and we've got data to suggest that we're doing well, the market is telling us, hey, this is really valuable. But we get stuck in the trap of like, oh, but like, what if they say, no, maybe I'm not that valuable, but you've got data already to suggest you are. So then go to the people who you know really will value your service and say to them, hey, would you like us to do X, Y, Z? Do you know anybody that you could refer us to? Would you like us to do your accounting because you use us for business advisory? Completely different conversation.
Oh, I think that's a really great thing there that you've suggested around people are worried about the what if rather than going back and they've got the answers in front of them with the data.
Yeah.
And so many people just look for the what on the face of it looks like the quick and easy win. I'll go and catch up with a coffee for this person because they could open some doors. No. They've opened the doors through some hard work of their own. You've got to go and open your own doors. And so much of those doors are sitting within your business. You've just got to be prepared to do the work to look at the data that's within your business already of the customers that have engaged with you, the previous inquiry that you've done, and go, right, what can I do with this? Because there's stuff in there that you can tap into. And they are people with the wallets that are prepared to spend, not somebody in the middle that may or may not do some intros for you.
Yeah, even if you are in that mode where you are just getting yourself out there and you do need to go to people and try and catch up with them and tell them about your business and whatnot, like tell people, be upfront, say, there's not much I can do for you right now, but I promise if we have a coffee together or you give me some of your time, I will, do X, Y, Z in the future, or I'll keep you in mind for any of this, or hey, I'll give you access to my network. Like, what can you do to make it more valuable than let's catch up for a coffee? Everyone's got a fucking coffee machine, Yeah. They're like, I don't have time for a coffee anymore. I'm just going to make it next to my desk. We didn't used to have that. No. It's like, right, done, back to being busy doing whatever you're doing. So be more strategic with your asks and add more value to them. And I think you'll find that your rejection will then decrease as well. And just accept when you know that you're not bringing as much value to it. But if they give you their time and if they do add value to you, make it a goal of your own or a mission to go, how can I repay them for that in the future?
Spot on, mate. That's real nice.
The
Go
other-
out there and ask, folks.
The other one that we saw recently was people going to the market asking for funding for their business. Now, surprisingly, like a lot of them are actually getting towards the amount that they need. Now, you made an interesting comment when I showed you some different ones that are raising money, and one of them was quite small, and you're like, oh, well, like, what's their skin in the game, basically? So why are they not kicking in? And I think it goes back to what I was just saying. If you're asking other people to do shit, you better make sure you're good at it. You better make sure that you've got your skin in the game and that you're going to give your blood, sweat, and tears too, because people can see through it where it's like, oh, you're just using me, you know? And someone reached out to me recently for investment into a business and actually really liked what they were doing, and they had a pitch deck and all this, but all the imagery on the pitch deck it's all Canva based. You know, they got images of people.
Stock image stuff.
Yeah, people delivering things, and they've got logos on, and I'm like, well, that shirt is crinkled, but the logo isn't. That's not real. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, appreciate that's probably just part of their pitch deck. But I'm like, I don't even really need to entertain this too much. But I did wonder, I'm like, okay, how much are they putting in here and whatnot? And like, hey, maybe it turns into something successful. But with whatever you're doing when you are asking, make sure that you have got your own skin in the game, because people will want to see that you're going to give it a lot of effort and time as well, and not just like, oh, well, you know, especially with raising money, like, oh, well, yeah, we did lose their money, but like they knew what they were getting themselves in for. So have some skin in the game yourself.
Nice one, mate. I think there's some classic nuggets in there for people, and I think it's just getting comfortable with asking and knowing how to ask. If you're not sure on how to ask and frame the question, go and learn, or ask some people that are really good at asking and say, hey, look, how do you do this and how do you do it really well? Because I'm keen to learn, and then go and put it into practice and get used to hearing the no, and then try different tactics, because it's not always a phone call, it's not always an email. There's plenty of other strategies out there that business owners can use to deploy the ask to get the answer that you ultimately want to get to.
There's a really famous book, and we've done a podcast on it. You can go back and listen to it, but it's just called Ask. That's all it is. And basically the whole concept is how everything is on the other side of an ask.
Yep.
So go and read that book if you do struggle with it, or you need some, you can probably chuck it on as an audio book and get some background learning with that. A reminder that we offer business planning over a 12-month window, over a 90-day window. We have capacity for aspirational business owners as accounting clients. We offer one-off consults as well. And we also do a lot of work at the moment in the due diligence and business purchasing space. So if you do need a hand with anything, reach out. This is our ask to you. Finally get in touch. You've been listening, taking advantage of the free information for ages. Come and join the paid side and watch your things snowball and spiral, hopefully out of control in a good way.
Nice.